down and away we go.
Everybody is seemingly away well. We've got Abbott Gaming near in the back, moving to the right-hand side. Leroy gets away well. Both Dutch Dirt and Wylap NL, the crazy Dutchies, getting very close. Little bit of wheel banging going on a bit further behind. Let's keep an eye out and see what is happening. At the minute, we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1, but it seems all drivers away relatively cleanly. No doubt, as we see the drivers come through, maybe going to be seeing some wing damage. At the minute, all looks good. No real changes in grid positions. We will have a look at the detail.
Ultra's got past Gillian, so Ultra's up to third. Gillian is down to P4.
Great effort.
And
Great
second,
effort.
fourth, and fifth at the moment.
Exotic, the big loser out of the opening exchanges, comes down 8 places into P13.
Didn't see it on camera, did we? But
no, we didn't.
The guys at the back obviously squabbling. So Mello, Blocky, and Abbott Gaming, they've all lost positions as well.
Leroy already commanding a 1-second lead. Dutch Dirt will want to be patient here, as we can see almost a bit of a train of cars down that back straight. Let's not be mistaken here, folks. These are very, very tough conditions to be driving in, especially a circuit where it's all about speed. You're wanting to put the power down. These tyres in these conditions, quite simply, don't let you do that. It's about finesse, that little bit of precision to make sure you're delivering the power in a sensible way. But already those gaps are starting to form. The top 3 already pulling away drastically. As Wylap now maybe got a little bit of damage, because Snacks is starting to look a little bit interested.
Front wings are all intact.
Snacks makes the move. He gets it done. He gets it done. A great exit out of the second chicane. Oh, WKD Moss into the wall. We were looking on the rear camera of Snacks's Red Bull, where we saw Moss going wide. We're going to have a look and see what damage that may have done. Seems to be okay looking at that front wing. Looks to be alright, but a little bit of a mistake by WKD Moss means he loses out on a few positions as well. Fresh Agent and Flecky going at it. Down towards Parabolica. Agent gets the move done. Oh, Flecky! Oh, Flecky went for a little bit of a classic Flecky lunge. Nearly made it work. You can see the predicted pit stop strategy. It is intermediates for the whole race, Foxes. This is going to be a tough 27 laps for these guys, and that I can promise you.
He's been passed by Vader down the pit straight. Had another look at him back into turn 1, almost straight back past him.
Really seems to be struggling in these conditions, doesn't he?
Oh, good driving from the perfect.
Oh, side by side though. Leroy! Leroy! Oh my goodness me, what has happened to Leroy? Oh no, he resets the track. Oh my goodness me. Our race leader spins around and now finds himself in P15. Oh my goodness me, did not expect to see that happening. 3 laps in, mad drama already. Wow. Wow. Did not expect to see Leroy with a spin. Normally so calm and measured. That is for sure.
Big surprise.
We've got a yellow in Sector 2 at the minute, which has already disappeared. Dutch Dirt then inherits the lead. We'll go back up on board with him, but Callum Ultra is not letting him get away with it. He is so close here. Don't think he's close enough to make a lunge into turn 1, not without risking an accident. He chooses not to. Probably the right decision there. Just got to be patient.
These two gapping Snacks as well.
They are.
They seem to be the quickest two right here, right now.
This moment in time, Snacks needs to bring that gap down. That, of course, puts Wylap and NL back up to P4.
Gideon, yeah, he's got back past Vader.
Wow. Position changes galore right now in this race. It is unbelievable what is going on. Oh, wow. Toad Carrot and Vader going side by side around the Lesbos. Wow. Becomes Carrot's corner. Oh, Vader's not letting it up. Oh, that is sensational. Wow, two drivers side by side around the Lesbos.
Heavily compromised Vader down this, so Carrot's on the outside. Vader can't keep his foot in, surely no. Makes a decision, backs out.
That was nothing short of incredible there, Foxes. That is some sensational driving. Toad, Carrot and Vader, incredible, absolutely incredible scenes. Unbelievably exciting right now, folks. As you can see, so many position changes. It's hard to show everything that is going on right now. You can see overall on the left hand side the position changes, the gains that some drivers have made, the losses that others have. But it's looking like a pretty wet race for the full 27 laps, which I suppose makes the strategy quite straightforward, quite easy, I guess.
Very, very simple, yeah.
It's all that talk of interesting strategies has gone out the window with the weather conditions. Oh, Toad Carrot though!
You can still play around with the 1 versus 2 stop, but obviously being on the same tyres, it's going to be markedly slower than it would be on a contrasting set of dry tyres.
Toad Carrot dipped a wheel onto the gravel on the exit of the chicane. Vader had just a little sniff at maybe creating an overtaking opportunity. Couldn't make it happen. Look at Callum Ultra though, now 0.2 of a second behind Dutch Dirt. Just needs to be patient and wait for his move. It's about pressure.
Well to make this a three-way battle.
Bit by bit, Snacks is just within range to sort of catch a little bit of the slipstream from Callum Ultra. That gap is coming down with every single lap. He's now right on this patch. You can see it here, folks. Snacks 22 starting to put his nose in, not just for a podium, but potentially a race win as well. He's made up 3 positions on his qualifying spot. He crashed out in Q3 right at the start, but thankfully the conditions saved him. Only just. Let's have a little look.
Leroy's done a fantastic job of making up after his early mistake. He's back up to P10 already.
Wow, that's a great effort from him to get back up to P10. He's in the points, which is certainly what him and his new driving partner Abbott Gaming need. They need some points, and they need to start earning them soon. Otherwise, they're going to start falling away in this Constructors Championship. UK Assassin up 5 spots, and Blocky as well up 4 spots. Considering he crashed out early in Q1, a very good start to the race for him. Although it does look like he's got some front wing damage. Not sure if you can see that, AJ. Front left, a little bit compromised. Seems like an end plate.
Yeah.
But that could arguably be helpful. That understeer that it creates in these conditions can sometimes be a good thing. Just especially if you're on the power. It stops the car wanting to snap on you that little bit. MK2 Ellis as well, the shock exiter out of Q1. He's made up some places as well. Finds himself in P13, unlucky for some. but potentially going to be making a move on Assassin sometime soon. Being very, very careful on the throttle. You can hear it. You can hear as he goes up through the gears how gently he's applying the power. Small little lockup.
Oh, exotic going for a very unconventional move through the second Lesmo. I don't think I've ever seen him make a take there. He's hurt his teammate badly. He's basically hung him out to dry for Flecky to take advantage of. So Flecky's up to P8, follows him through.
Wow.
I mean, they had a straight. I thought you just do a sensible team change on the straight. Job done. But he's basically thrown his teammate into the mouth of Flecky. He's come back at him though, Agent. Agent's back in front.
Wow.
Flecky late on the brakes. Typical Flecky style. It's not going to help him around Parabolica, unfortunately. The natural line takes it outside. And you lose some speed if you keep it on the inside line. He's going to have a run at Agent down into turn 1.
Oh, is he going to get a run? Both, no doubt, using their ERS. Agent switches his off. Flecky down to 0.
The big game changer is no DRS, isn't it?
Oh, Agent goes really deep at turn 1.
Really,
this could be what Flecky needs. Oh, using every bit of ERS that he has. You can see the slipstream now starting to work. Moves to the outside. Oh, this is tense. Flecky goes really, really deep.
Yeah, he doesn't make the corner. He's going to have to give that back, and he does.
Sensibly gives it back to Agent, indeed. He went for the late lunge to see if he could just hold it on the brakes. Couldn't slow the car down enough to make it happen. Let's see how our Season 2 debutant is getting on. Abbott Gaming in the Renault car has lost out on 1 position. Sits P15. Putting in some decent laps as Hansen gets a 3-second time penalty. We saw earlier on Reading FC gain a 3-second time penalty as well. Obviously just pushing some of the corner cuts a little bit. Easily done in tricky conditions like this, it has to be said.
Yeah, not a load of them are intentional in this sort of scenario.
True,
so like
very true.
Here, little twitches there, which is again why everyone asks quite often why we run normal corner cut rules. Like in a race like this, where it's literally fine margins and you can be playing with millimeters, and half of it sometimes isn't even your fault. Like the game just punishes you far too much. And it is obviously it's more markedly noticeable in these conditions. Assassin flies through turn 1 and turn 2. He's going to have to relinquish that position back to Ellis because that's ridiculous.
A 5-second time penalty awarded to him. My goodness,
just went far too hot on the brakes. But if I was him, I wouldn't hold MK2 Ellis up too much. Even with the 5-second penalty, he should really be getting him past. But
seems like he's slowed down a little bit. Ellis now right on the gearbox, whether that is conscious or not. Hopefully Ellis has got it in him to push for an overtaking move. You see Mertzy as well. Oh, we've got a Williams off. I think Hansen going a little bit wide at the second chicane.
No damage though.
He's got away with it. He's got away with it. Finds himself in P18 as Exotic sets a fastest lap. Wow. Little shout out to Dutch Dirt here, who is still at the front of this pack in the Haas car. Callum Ultra and Snacks being kept at bay here. Some phenomenal driving. A great effort from him.
Wylap's gaining as well. This could be very much a situation where Wylap comes back into play here. But as I say, without the DRS, it's actually proven to be a lot more difficult to overtake for these guys. Again,
is it going to make it a four-way fight?
It may come later. Obviously, they're still getting the confidence of the track. The track's still improving towards their intermediate tyres. But you take away the DRS, and quite often, if you're smart with your ERS, well, speaking from experience, if you're smart with your ERS, quite often you can negate the run that people get on you. So the fact that we haven't seen an awful lot of these guys up front just suggests that it has become rather stagnant.
It's obviously really tough to kind of follow. Wylap now really close. This is now becoming a four-way fight.
Range, isn't he?
Yeah, it's now an easy four-way fight for these podium spots. Oreo, very good to see you here in the chat. I hope you're doing well tonight. You join us on as we're about to start lap 11 of this Italian Grand Prix. Dutch Dirt 46, currently your race leader, followed by Callum Ultra, Snacks 22, Wylap NL in P4. These four guys are way ahead of the pack at the minute. It's going to be a very tough fight for these guys. With these cars being close, surely an undercut has to be on the minds of some of these drivers to potentially come in, get some newer intermediates on, and allow that advantage of brand new intermediates to get out and potentially get ahead of a car in front. What's
100%.
What's your go-to 100%. In this situation? Is that your plan, do you think?
I certainly, if I'm in these four and it becomes evident that nothing's really going to happen on track, I definitely want to make sure that I'm the first in of these four cars. But the risk you have to run is obviously you will be at some point dying off. You do run the risk of those inters, that second set of inters, dying before you reach dry conditions.
This is it.
But there's a bit of a balancing act here. You don't want to be too early, but at the same token, you do want to be the first one to make the move.
Question is dry conditions gonna happen? The more I see of this race, I think it is just purely gonna be a completely wet race.
Gillian's taking the risk.
Gillian blinks at first.
Out of those four, he's got the least to lose. He's got a decent gap behind.
I think this is a great move here. I really do.
Shout.
He's going to come out a little bit further back.
Now, he needs clean air.
This is it.
Traffic. If he gets traffic, he's going to hurt him.
I think he's going to get it.
Looks like he's found a nice little pocket though.
Well, Blocky's coming along the line now.
Nah, he's not going to get anywhere near him.
No, he's okay.
He's got the pocket of space he needs. This is now down to the other three up front.
Things have worked out really well for Wylap NL here. Like we said, that undercut could prove to be the difference between P2 and P3. We will see how he goes on what is effectively his outlap at the minute. Brand new intermediate is going to be giving him a lot more grip than those older, slightly worn inters the front runners are running. Meanwhile, back on board with Dutch Dirt, the gap to Callum Ultra is now back up to 0.8. So he's doing a fantastic job at the front of this race. Real stunning effort. What do you guys think in the chat already? Diamant stating that thinks it's too soon to come in and complete a pit stop. Maybe with just about halfway through on this race, do you look to maybe extend them at this point? Or
yeah, I mean,
now it's sort of hammer time, really.
Just before we saw that pit stop, it's a balancing act. You don't want to come in too early to risk them burning out later. But I mean, in Gillian's position, I would have made sure that I was the first car in. I'm not sure I would have done it that early.
Yeah.
But from Wylap's position, he had nothing to lose.
No, I think from the position he's in, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, if his tyres do go off towards the end, he's going to have a sizable gap to P5. And look, he's obviously taken the look that, look, I'm going to probably finish P4 wherever, unless I do something different. There's the dice roll. We're going to see if it pays off.
Oh, Callum Ultra looks like he's going to have a go. Side by side, he's not ahead though. Even with all that he still couldn't get ahead to make the corner his. Dutch Dirt holds on. Tyres going to be gone by the end. Well, as we approach the halfway stage, it's going to be very, very tricky. As we said, we don't think Whitelap had anything to lose by doing that. Potentially a lot to gain, especially with the fact that it seems that drivers are struggling to overtake Callum Ultra pits. Wow, okay. I wonder what tyres he's going to put on, folks. Is it a quick stop?
Brand new set of softs.
It's a good stop. It's a good stop. The Ferrari team are out as well. They're going to be making a pit stop.
Whitelap's coming out of Palaborica. Ultra is not yet up to race speed. He's accelerating
he sets the fastest lap. Is he going to get it done? You can see Ultra in front of him.
I think Ultra's just about all right.
Woo! But is that overspeed?
For the skin of his teeth.
Wow! That is so close. The gamble for Whitelap NL doesn't quite pay off here on Callum Ultra, but
Callum Ultra was not the car in front of him on the road.
Well, this is it. It's waiting to see what's going to happen with these front runners now. Who is going to blink first out of Dutch Dirt and Snacks with their co-drivers alongside them now starting to box? Surely,
I know it's down to the nature of pit stops. Can we have a shout out to Fresh Agent, who's currently chilling in P4?
And chilling he is. It seems his driving's come alive
really well
in these wet conditions, driving fantastically well in that McLaren. He does have a time penalty, but no doubt will be added. But with the gap that he's currently got, should be a nice points haul for Fresh Agent. And with his teammate Exotic in PA also in the points, could shake things up very nicely in the Constructors' Championship.
Good.
He blinks as well. So. Agent comes into the pits.
Yeah, so Agent's pitted. Let's see where he comes out.
Vader now up into P3. Indeed, Lord Vader with a great drive as well. He's currently sitting in P3. He's yet to box. We know, I know from personal experience, he's got great speed around Italy. We've had some good battles around here. BLT Leroy sets the fastest lap of the race. So those new intermediate tyres starting to pay off.
Agent's got it very wrong coming out of the pits. Missed his braking point completely. It's a 5-second penalty. Probably gave Leroy a heart attack for good measure.
You've got to be on the brakes as you leave. If you're on automatic for the pit lane entry and exit, especially in these conditions, as soon as it comes over to you, you have to be like fully on those brakes straight away. Otherwise, it really punishes you. Fresh Agent though, wow.
Look at the gap. Callum Ultra and Whitelap NL are catching Snacks and Dutch Dirt by about a second a lap.
They need to pit. Snacks blinks. The Snacks blinks and comes into the pits, but I think he's going to miss out here. So he's in the pit lane. Callum Ultra is already coming round Parabolica.
Coming out of Parabolica.
As is Whitelap NL. This could get, well, he's coming down. He's at the pit lane exit. Ultra and Whitelap get past. The undercut has worked.
It's not just worked. It's a massive gap. By the time Snacks comes out of. We won't know the true gap until Snacks comes out of T2.
Surely this has to be a moment for Dutch Dirt to come in now. He has to see.
It has to be.
These times.
Snacks has lost 4.5 seconds to that undercut.
That is a huge amount of time. If Dutch Dirt is serious about winning this race, he needs to come in now, get a new set on, but he's going to have work to do. This is it. He's going to have to make some overtakes if he wants to get this race win. At the minute, Callum Ultra arguably looking like your favourite to take this race win.
Oh, this is assuming we're thinking about Callum Ultra and Whitelap's tyres holding up.
Wow.
Obviously, Callum Ultras are in a lot better position than Whitelap's. They're 2 laps younger.
He comes in.
But crucially, they're only 1 lap younger than Snacks.
Indeed.
And Snacks is as whether a 1 lap is going to be worth enough for Snacks to close down the gap. We'll wait to see. But yeah, Dutch quite obviously pits. There was no way he was going to make it last any longer than that.
No, and not to jinx it, we've not had a safety car, Foxes. We have not had a safety car in this race yet. It may come as Dutch comes out of the pit lane in P4. Has lost out 3 positions in that run of pit stops. Just goes to show how important the strategy and those pit stops can be. One and only Monkey in the chat, exotic for the win. Keen to see a McLaren on the podium. Well, he's sitting P5, very close behind Dutch Dirt with a lot of work to do. It could be anyone's, quite frankly, with 10 laps to go.
Exotic pitted the lap after Y-lap. So Y-lap blinked first. His tyres are 4 laps old. Exotic is the lap after. He's on 3 laps. Callum Ultra and Toad Carrot, they both came in the lap after that, so theirs are only 2 laps old, and Snacks and Dutch are the ones on the fresh rubber. Dutch is obviously got a lap over Snacks. The Snackses will be coming on to 2 laps old. Dutch's will only be 1 lap old.
On board with BLT Leroy, the man who took pole position, currently at P9 after spinning out in some of the opening laps. He finds himself back up in the points, chasing down a fresh agent for a bigger points haul. We'll keep an eye on that battle. Flecky meanwhile just behind them, looking to reel them in a little bit. Blocky as well at P12 in that Williams, not far behind Moss, as he crashed out in qualifying. Moss with a little bit of a wiggle, I think on the power a bit too early. This could allow Blocky just to come in a little bit, definitely in that slipstream, with Moss's penalty as well. Blocky will be hoping to get some points.
Absolutely, there's a couple of good fights out here right now. So Dutch and Exotic aren't separated by that much.
Leroy and Agent.
About 3/4 of a second. Yeah, Leroy and Agent was a fight that I was going to say, because Leroy was just closing. The other one is Toad Carrot and Vader a little bit further back. So there's 3 kind of pockets of 2 cars here. Leroy's on the dispatched Agent. Vader's starting to drop back a little bit from Toad Carrot. So the closest battle on the road is still Exotic after Dutch. So yeah, some good little fights up here. Moss is closing on Blocky. There's little pocket battles happening here, all the way down.
It's good to see close racing up and down the grid. Let's have a little look on board with Mello cover in the Alfa Romeo in P14. Little bit of a race on his own at the moment. He's got Redding in front of him, who will shortly be a blue flag. You have Hansen, Abbott Gaming, Mertzi as well, a bit further back in that Haas, really pushing its limits through that first chicane. He's missed out on a couple of positions as well. So we can see at the moment most drivers on a 1 stop. Hansen and Mertzi have done 2 stops, no doubt, for some wing changes as well. Everybody safely on intermediate tyres. But here we have the tyre life as Mertzi collects another 3-second time penalty. So your race leader, Callum Ultra, on 4-lap-old intermediates, being chased by Y-Lap NL, whose tyres are 2 laps older. Going to be a tough ask for him. But you have Snacks and Dutch Dirt starting to barrel down on them. The 2 Dutch drivers of Snacks and Y-Lap NL. 2 Dutch drivers, what am I kidding? 3 Dutch drivers in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Fantastic to see, but Snacks will surely be trying to find a way past Y-Lap NL here. with those newer intermediates be wanting to have a go at Callum Ultra for this race win. Goes really deep into turn 1 though. Oh, that's given Wylap a decent bit of breathing space as well. Dutch, the original race leader before the pit stops, now just over a second behind. Exotic starting to reel them in as well. A bit further back though, Vader and Toad Carrot, a battle that AJ mentioned was starting to spice up, is now really close. Vader is going to be wanting that P6, that is for sure.
Yeah, it's turned really interesting with these top guys. I say obviously the biggest gains have been found literally in the order that they blinked. So Wylap has had the biggest change of that. That's in 2 places. He was the one to blink first. Callum Ultra gained a place because he blinked second. Snacks blinked third. He's gained a place in all of that, and Dutch obviously blinking last. He's the one who's lost out. He's lost 3.
All about being on the right tyre at the right time. A little bit for literally 2 places back though. We've got another interesting battle. Agent and Leroy is still going on. Leroy cannot seem to clear Agent, although he's got that time penalty. Slipstream is just keeping Agent close enough to be a bit of a nuisance, a little bit of a threat.
Ooh, a little wobble from Leroy.
Oh, there wasn't there? Meanwhile,
Leroy staying right for as long as he can, just to make that toe a little bit less appealing for Agent.
Flecky, meanwhile, is starting to reel them in a little bit. Agent again a little bit late on the brakes, spinning up those rear tyres. That's going to let Leroy get away a little bit. You can now see that gap closer to a second, but that is giving Flecky a bit of momentum. Obviously a really clean exit out of turn 1. Flecky's now throwing his name into the hat for an overtake on Agent. Battles up and down the grid as I think WKD Moss pits again, or recently does, for another set of tyres on 1 lap old Inters. Oh, Fresh Agent hits a bit of the gravel.
Callum Ultra at the moment. I'm sure it's not comfortable in that cockpit because you've got to be so on point at every stage of the way in the wet. But,
so much concentration.
He's extending his gap. It's up now to 4.2, 4.3. Snacks can't seem to find any kind of ground on Wylap as Redding comes out of the pits for another stop. He needs to make sure he's well out of the way. Dutch and Exotic aren't massively far behind.
The difficulties that Wylap seem to be having at the beginning of this race, it seemingly disappeared. He's starting to make some really good momentum. A P2 here would be a great result. Not qualified on pole, not taken any race wins, but has been getting podiums and accumulating a lot of good points. So could be another good.
Yeah, he's just been quietly getting about his business in the background, hasn't he? Yeah, he hasn't massively taken a spotlight at all. But from what I've known of him since I've been racing with him, he's very smart. He's happy to operate in the background. He just goes about his own business, does the right things well. And he's certainly been finding the rewards for that. We have a Haas that's a little bit out of shape in front of Callum Ultra, so that's Mertzy. He's having a torrid old afternoon, is young Mertzy.
Slows right down. Lets the top 5 pass.
Doesn't seem to be off the road, but
I mean,
it's just a struggle to get back on it.
He's waiting for Toad Carrot and Vader as well. Gets a 10-second time penalty and retires with a huge amount of time penalties.
Yeah, coming down that straight, you want to be on the right-hand side if you're letting people through.
Certainly not
interesting positional choice, we'll say that.
That's for sure. It has been a race to forget for Mertzy, a DNF with his hands parked up.
It's a shame. He was looking all right. He wasn't setting the world alight in qualifying, but yeah, he had a good start to the race as well. It picked up some positions, and then just went downhill from there, unfortunately.
That gap between BLT Leroy and Fresh Agent has massively started to increase as well. Between Agent and Flecky, really become drawn out. Maybe just going past the back markers, people being nice and sensible. I see Redding getting out of the way well as well. But even at the top, these top 5 just cannot find a way past each other. It's just an absolute train of cars. They cannot seem to find a way past.
Yep.
Sorry, huge insight from AJ there with his yeah. that made me chuckle. That made me chuckle.
Yeah, this is
You're
thing,
right though.
like,
Nothing else to say, but oh, that made me chuckle.
It's a combination of a couple of things.
Oh
you don't
no!
have the DRS.
Oh, Exotic getting a little bit pushy.
He had a little nibble, didn't he?
Yeah, a bit pushy. No damage done, but he's got to make sure this is clean. It's not his corner. He's got to be patient here. It's Dutch Dirt's. He's sensible. And this is why it is so difficult to do it. To get those overtakes done. Has he got enough speed now? I don't think he has. The braking zone is there. This is so tough. The straights are just not long enough. It's a case of trying to stay close and use that ERS on the exit of Parabolica. That is the longest stretch that you have to try and make an overtake count. You've got to nail Parabolica and have a huge collection of ERS saved up to really make it count. But you're seeing it live, folks. It is not easy. Snacked as well, still
gonna have a look at
half a
Carrot
second
here. Into turn 1. Is he close enough? He has a little
not close enough.
Not close enough to send one.
Whee!
Ooh, little nibble.
That's it hits him twice.
Turn 2. Be careful of that front wing.
Front wing is
At this
vital.
point, you've got to assume that obviously different tyres are going to have different grit levels, so you're not necessarily going to be kicking those same brake markers every time.
This is it. We've got the tyre life difference.
Vader's tyres are 2 laps newer. Oh, Carrot has a big mistake on the exit of turn 5. Vader up the inside for the first Lesmo.
Vader gets it done. An absolute gift. This is it. It just takes one mistake, and you've got to be ready, and you've got to be there to pounce on it to make it count. You have to be ready and waiting to take your opportunity once that driver in front makes a mistake, because that is all that is going to be that's really the only chances that you're going to get. It is so tough to overtake in these conditions. Snack is finding it as well.
What has Dutch got left? He's got the newest tyres.
2 seconds though.
Pulled him back off these positions. All these worries about tyre wear we had in terms of how early he came in. Wylack is looking good here for a P2.
Could be a very strong finish for Wylap NL here. That gap though is so close. So close. Exotic and Dutch Dirt getting close as well. Has Exotic got enough to make a move around the outside? It's still Dutch Dirt's corner. Oh, Dutch Dirt. Oh my days. Exotic throws it in. They're side by side. They bang wheels. Very aggressive from Exotic there. That may be sent in for us to review.
Yeah,
side by side, good space.
I'm very surprised if we didn't have a second look at that before the night is over.
Wow, he makes a move though on Dutch dirt. Wow, my goodness me. Not the cleanest move by Exotic Plains, but he is up into P4 on those 12-lap hold intermediates. Meanwhile, back up with the front runners. Callum Ultra. That gap now down to 3.2, but surely he's just taking it steady, minding his own business, making sure he's not pushing things too much as we hit the final lap of the race, Foxes. It has been intermediate conditions from start to finish. Really, really tough for all of the drivers involved. So much concentration. Not a lot of corners on this racetrack, but even on these slight curved straights, if they can even be described as that, but on these bends, just that little bit of extra power, as we saw with a few in qualifying, can make the difference between you making the corner and crashing out into the barriers as Snack spins! Snack spins on the final lap! Exotic and Dutch Dirt comes through on the final lap! He's like Sebastian Vettel in the Red Bull at Canada. The final lap, where the pressure, my goodness me, a little bit too much curb has made, oh my goodness me, unbelievable. He's going to be pushing and trying to make a place up, but it's not going to happen. Dutch Dirt surely going to hold him off. Callum Ultra though, your race leader, now heading towards a Parabolica. It's been a masterclass from start to finish. Kept it clean, waited for his time. The checkered flag, Callum Ultra wins the Italian Grand Prix. 1 lap and out, a great drive.
Drag race between Snacks and Dutch for the line. Snacks gets it.
Snacks wins it. Did Dutch Dirt ease off there? A big wobble, did he?
I don't know. There was contact into Parabolica.
Wow.
Front left corner of Snacks.
Your pole sitter Leroy comes across P8. Wow, Flecky and Fresh Agent still fighting it out, but I think Flecky will take P9. A great drive from Agent in for P10. He has a 5-second penalty. Is that going to cost him? It will. Blocky ends up taking the final point. Ellis across the line. And a bit further back we see WKD Moss heading down the back straight. Wow. Unbelievable. What a tough race that has been for all the Foxes involved there. Honestly, a big GG's to everybody racing so far. We're not done yet. We are not done yet. Moss comes across the line. Mello as well. Hansen does have a penalty. He's going to cross in P15. And rookie Abbott Gaming finishes. Wow.